Phil Gothe was appointed President and Lead Executive Officer of Technical Safety BC effective January 13th. And a week later, we were fortunate to catch up with him to talk about his organization and its priorities in the coming years.
Thanks for the opportunity today, Anthony, to speak to you and to all of your viewers and listeners.
One of the things that I'd like to ask you about is when we ran news of your appointment back at the start of December, you were quoted as saying that where Technical Safety BC is concerned, we have made great strides in enhancing safety capabilities in recent years. And then you go on to say, I look forward to empowering and mobilizing clients, partners, and
Mhm.
stakeholders. But I'd like to focus you on that made great strides in enhancing safety capabilities. Are there some things that particularly stand out that you're particularly proud of as an organization?
I wonder if I can just start with a tiny bit of context by saying that I'm incredibly honored by the appointment of the board to be able to be Technical Safety BC's new president and lead executive officer. I have been with the organization for 13 years. So I joined as the executive of stakeholder engagement back in 2009. And since then, I had the opportunity to lead technical programs and most recently the operations and client experience. And I start with that in that I'd like to think I have some experience and also been part of a lot of the initiatives and the direction that's been created over the years. So I'm looking forward to carrying that on. So to your question about some of the things that we've done, in past years, we, like many organizations, we have really worked hard to embrace digital products. And we are in the midst of doing that. It's I think, an ongoing process and practice for most organizations. So that's something that I'm particularly also looking forward to, that we will continue to improve the tools by which electrical contractors and certified individuals interact and transact with Technical Safety BC, whether it's through apps that we develop in the future, but also better online service that they can access their work with us 24/7. So that's something I'm quite proud of, and it's also something that we continue to do, and that it's a real area of focus going forward. Other things that we've done is we've worked a lot on equity in the system, and in terms of leveling the playing field, there's always some that are not participating, and so we are doing some good work to level that playing field and to make the system more equitable. The other component of that is that there are remote communities that are maybe a bit more disadvantaged or underprivileged, and so they may not have the same facilities or the ability to participate and to access safety. So we're doing outreach in those areas. So I would say a lot of the ability to, I call that safety at scale. Safety at scale is really about effectiveness, efficiency, and equity. And I think the next chapter for us at Technical Safety BC, which I'm quite excited to be part of, is that we've initiated a lot of this good work, and it's ongoing work, and really want to focus on consolidating and capturing the value of that for safety system participants like electrical contractors, creating that safety at scale as we go forward.
I like that, safety at scale. I think that's going to be the title of this video when it's done.
Mhm.
But your answer segues nicely into the next question that I have for you. And looking ahead, what do you see as Technical Safety BC's priorities in the coming years?
Yeah, it is. So at risk of being a little bit repetitive, but maybe I can explain it a bit more. So we have started and begun many good things, and it's really about bringing those more to fruition and capturing the value, not just for Technical Safety BC, but for the safety system, for the clients. A real focus of mine has always been that we make the safety system as accessible and as simple to interact and transact and to be part of. And we absolutely count on electrical contractors and electrical field safety representatives and large equipment owners, that they that they do view themselves as participants, and that they partner with us at Technical Safety BC to advance the understanding of safety risks and also the management of them. So that's again, it's another way of expressing safety at scale, but it is a big part of the next 2 to 3 years at Technical Safety BC. We're making investments in the back office infrastructure that is meant to support. We have a focus on something we call an information ecosystem, a safety information ecosystem, which should be transparent and accessible to everyone. It's part of the value proposition of being a participant, that you can also access that information and even have it fed to you. So yeah, that is a big focus for the next couple to 3 years. It's really about consolidating and capturing that value and building out the safety at scale and service to all the participants in the system.
So, Phil, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about the hell of a year that 2021 was for the province of British Columbia. What with the fires and then followed by the flooding. So perhaps you could comment a little bit on Technical Safety BC's response to some of these disasters.
Yeah, the way that we focus and look at it is sort of before, during, and after, and I think those are typical phases of any disaster. A big part of the before is that we do everything we can to get information out to the communities in the areas that are going to be affected or starting to be affected. That is a lot about turning off your electrical equipment and making sure that you're getting it as prepared as possible for what's coming. And if you're in an evacuation order or under an evacuation alert, the type of things that you should be thinking about. We also reach out to the contractors. They have a big job in recovery. During, there's obviously hazard if live wires are in a flood or things of that nature. That's obviously, we want to make sure that folks have good awareness of that. And then afterwards, there is a lot of rebuild that needs to happen. And so contractors are ready to support in that, and we do everything we can to support them to make their lives as effective and efficient and able as possible to do the work of recovery. And so we're part of the messaging in the community, and sometimes in smaller communities, we're doing a lot of assessments as well to support in whether or not things can be re-energized. We have very strong links with the utilities, with BC Hydro or Fortis, to make sure that there's good coordination there for when, say, subdivisions or areas are re-energized after these disasters. So yes, we were very much part of that, and we are also linking. I should say that we're also looking further out. So we're very aware that these types of events, I mean, we hope not, but it does seem that they will become more frequent and more part of our day-to-day. So we are doing some research. We're investing in some research in understanding the installation base of electrical equipment and how to make it more adaptable for future hotter hots and wetter wets and floods and things of that nature. And how does that affect the Canadian Electrical Code going forward? How can we support communities in maybe doing some retrofitting when they do build back, that they're building back in a more resilient way? How do we communicate with contractors to make sure that they're aware of those changes? And we're also working in partnership with organizations in the government like Emergency Management BC, but also some of the policy organizations that are doing some of that thinking. So that's been a big part of our involvement there.
To me, it sounds like some very capable people and some very capable heads are at work and at play in the province of British Columbia. So I appreciate what you guys are doing. Especially in light of the disasters that came in 2021. And also it's very pleasing to hear that you're undergoing or undertaking research to analyze possible future scenarios, future situations for the betterment of everyone's safety. So that's very good to hear. I do appreciate you taking the time. I know you're probably very busy, so I do appreciate you taking the time to take a few minutes and spend them with me in Electrical Business Magazine.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Anthony. It's very nice to meet you, and thanks for taking the time or the interest in interviewing me today.